And with that, it is my pleasure now to introduce the last but the most important person, Mark Pierzchala. I've worked with Mark twice. First time was on the Budget and Finance Task Force, and when he saw me and we began to work together on this, we both had a mutual understanding of being good stewards of taxpayer dollars and being fiscally responsible. And then on a smaller group, Mark and I again worked. We talked about the city's debt limit ceilings. Mark clearly knows and understands budgets and how to look at budgets and make recommendations about them. Mark is for balance. That is why he, with John Britton, proposed the Rockville Summit that brought together all the stakeholders of Rockville, the residents, the businesses, nonprofits, education, and government to talk about the city's future. Mark bridges the differences between people. He balances varied interests, he analyzes, and he comes up with solutions that work. And these are just the few reasons that we all here and everybody in Rockville needs to vote for Mark Pierzchala for mayor. It is my privilege. It's my privilege to introduce Mark officially and formally as your candidate for mayor. Mark.
Thank you, Beryl. Before I get started with my speech, please move away from the door. There's a fire hazard. We have to move in. There's free pizza over here, so there's room between the tables. Well, I don't see my people moving. Come on, let's move it.
We don't want to get shut down by the fire.
All right, well, how about Team Rockville? I just find this so exciting. I'm so proud to be with Team Rockville, and I'm so honored that these people have chosen to run with me as your mayoral candidate. And we are so very thankful that you all came today to support us. So give yourselves a big round of applause. Now, I'm going to tell you three things today. I'm going to tell you why we need a Team Rockville. Then I'm going to tell you how these people got on Team Rockville. Then I'm going to tell you how we're going to win all 5 seats.
All right.
Now, why do we need a Team Rockville? Yesterday, I spoke to a dear friend of mine. She lives in the West End. And she was thrilled to learn that I was running for mayor. And she was thrilled that there was a team of 5 people. And she was thrilled when she learned who those 5 people were. But then she spoke to me from the heart. She said, Mark, Rockville is broken. She spoke again. She said, Mark, worse than that, the city's heart is heartbroken. This great lady gave me the words that I was searching for. For several years, it's been difficult to conduct the city's business. For several years, it's been difficult to have a sensible policy discussion. And we have many examples where it's taken several years to solve problems that could have been solved in a year or even in a few months and been solved very well. Team Rockville is going to put an end to that. Team Rockville is about community, residents, business, nonprofits, educational institutions, and government. They all come together to make Rockville a great place to live. Team Rockville is about all residents and all neighborhoods, even those who are not as fortunate as we are. Team Rockville is about making decisions based on facts. It's about honoring our city government. It's about expressing a vision of where we want to go and why we want to go there. It's about preserving the quality of life for Rockville and even thriving in difficult times. Now, Rockville faces 2 big challenges. First challenge, the federal sector is going to shrink. We have seen the sequester. It's just starting. We need to increase our private sector. The Choice Hotels International Headquarters building going up just across the parking lot is an excellent example of that. But they needed a modest incentive to come to Rockville. That barely passed in the last term, 3-1-1. We need to honor and to support and grow our private sector as the federal sector shrinks. The second problem, big problem, even as the federal sector shrinks, this area is going to grow. As long as this area is doing better than the rest of the nation, and as long as we have a world-class school system, as long as we have the kinds of jobs you can only find in this area, and as long as people have babies, this area is going to grow and Rockville is going to grow. We can either come together on these challenges, or we can let those challenges divide us and cripple Rockville for the future. Team Rockville is about coming together to solve our problems and thriving for the future in these difficult times. Now, I do study history, and I know that the cities that thrive in difficult times are the cities that can see the future and adapt to the future. Now, I'm going to tell you how these people got onto Team Rockville. And you have already noticed we have a lot of diversity on this team. We have age and gender diversity. We have religious diversity. We have racial diversity. We have professional and geographic diversity, and we have policy and political diversity, but that's not what got you on the team. We actually have qualifications. You have to have an expertise important to the city. You have to have boards and commissions or neighborhood service. You have to have a respectful comportment. You have to be able to listen and to speak understandably. You have to be able to understand a complex problem, and you have to be able to bring the city together. This is a team of competence, and it's a team of excellence. Now I'm going to tell you how we're going to win all 5 seats. And I'll tell you that I would not have put together a team of 5 people if I did not think we can win all 5 seats. We're going to do 2 big things. We're going to increase the voter turnout. And we're going to change the minds of some people who voted the other way last time. We're going into every neighborhood. We're going to visit thousands of people. We're going to educate, and we're going to motivate. And we're not giving in to anything. Now, it's going to be a long, hard slog, and we need your help. We need a few people who can do a lot. And we have a good start on that, but we could use a few more. We need more people who can offer strategic support along the way. And that may be nothing more than hosting a coffee. And then we need a lot of people at the end to man the polls and to put out signs and to knock on doors. And we need donations, because it takes money to mail and to print those signs, and none of us are wealthy. So it's time. It's time you rise. It's time you get off the fence. It's time to end the nonsense, and there's plenty of it. It's time, and it's time for Team Rockville.